gonna really hurt. And he just goes, you don't want to piss in your hair. I got attacked in the park.
Really? Hello everyone, this is 7 months and today I will speak to the person with the most long dreadlocks I ever seen.
That's me. I'm Jack from England. We're in the beautiful Stage Door pub in my hometown of Dartford.
Not even one hairdresser touched them ever.
Done all myself. And my mum. Only once though.
It's 13-year-old dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long they've been when you done them first?
They were here. Yeah, they were here.
And how long was your hair before you braided them?
It's about double. Below my chest maybe?
And you did it with your bud?
Yeah.
How old you been?
I was just coming up to 16 and it was around Mother's Day.
Really?
Mother's Day in the UK at least.
And she was okay to do it?
She loved it.
Is she a hairdresser?
No, my sister is, but she was well into the idea. I remember saying, I want to get dreads. She's like, sweet, let's do it tomorrow. And it was stressful because we didn't really know what we were doing, but she was super into it. People ask me that a lot, like on the street. What does your mum think? Older people. What does your mum think? Like, my mum loves it.
It's good because a lot of kids normally, if they come up with this idea, the mums and dads, they know they're very happy.
Well, I've had that with people like, I've run into people in the street and they've been out with their kids and I'll end up chatting to them and some people will say things like, they'll be really complimentary, but then they'll turn to their child and they'll say,
like this.
Yeah, you'd never be allowed to do that. I was like, how do you, I'm stood right here. Like, how do you think that makes me feel? Like, get out of here. Like,
Oh, that's so bad. It's rude.
It is.
How comfortable you feel, and had you had any thoughts about going to professional and do the maintenance or change the shape, untangle
really.
these two little bodies who is like one dreadlock now?
Oh fuck! I've never really noticed that one. No, I haven't even really ever thought about it. Going to see someone else, I think, because it's all been done myself. You know, it's just such a personal thing to me. Like, I've had people ask, like, "Oh, can I help you wash them?" Like, no, because they just want to see that process.
You know what I hate? When they touch it without asking.
Oh yes, yeah. Depending on how drunk I am, depends on my reaction. I've been kind of like, always like, don't fucking touch me. Yeah, like, who the hell do you think you are? You wouldn't just go out to someone. Ew.
My personal fear, for example, is because I'm a hairdresser, that someone will bring fleas and I will be able to shave my hair off.
That's always a concern, especially in my job. I'm around kids all the time. Luckily, like, everyone at work is pretty good. Like, if there's a student that has them, they'll be like, hey, what this person? Like, cool, and my hair's always tied right up at work, and I make a point of not getting my head too close.
Oh yeah, actually, tell me about your job. Where do you work? Because people may think we are homeless because we have dreadlocks.
I'm not homeless. I'm not unemployed. I teach music to special needs children. Help them learn through music, and it's very, very good and very rewarding, and it's hard, but it's a lot of fun.
People with dreadlocks are
have
really
jobs.
good people.
Yeah.
Have jobs. We have jobs. Deal with it.
I know you can use a kind of like a braid method. I didn't do that. I backcombed them. And it was hard. It took a long time. It took about a week, I think.
To do the whole head.
Yeah, my hair naturally was really thick. Like, everyone.
I can tell.
Got super thick hair. Yeah. So it took about a week, and I was still going to school. I was a kid. I was still in school.
Did the school allow you?
Kinda, but
I know they're quite funny about the
they
haircuts now.
They are. I was nearing the end of being in school when I did them, and I got pulled into the office, like the head teacher's office, and he'd seen them. There was this really odd moment, like, he used to like to wander around the school, and when you were going into like classes in the morning, he would sometimes like pick a class and he would stand outside the classroom door and he would like greet every student as they came in.
It's like in the prison.
Yes.
It's weird though.
I thought, well, if he's gonna have a problem with my hair like it's gonna be now, so I was like, just look at him. I looked him right in the eye and I was like, good morning. And he's like, good morning. I went into class and like, he didn't say anything. I guess I've got away with it. And then there was another kind of like a vice principal who a couple of months later was like, has the principal seen your hair? And I was like, yeah, come with me. And I had to go to his office. I had to stand there and he came out. He was like, well, they said I've seen it. I was like, you have? Because you're about to finish school and leave school, I'll allow this. But if you were younger, I was like, get out of here, man. You're just saving face for this lady. I work for a group of schools that I went to now.
Yeah.
And I run into teachers that used to teach me that are still there. And sometimes I'll run into them and some of them are just so rude still. Like they'll remember me being young and it's sort of like 13 years later. They'll say things like, it's like, oh, do you remember you used to teach me PE? And they're like, oh yeah, so you still haven't washed your hair since then? I'm like, oh okay, right, you're still an arsehole, that's fine.
Nothing changed in your life.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be nice like an adult, but no, you're still an arsehole.
Do you use any jewellery for the dreadlocks?
A little bit. It's a ring and I've just kind of bent it to stay on. I did have some others, but my dreads, after a few years, just broke it off. The ring snapped.
Really?
Yeah, their hair like cracked it. Where it was
thicker.
It was getting thicker, like inside the ring, and because clay's not that strong, and it just cracked it off.
I ordered my jewelry online from Fanmouse Dreadbeats. That girl is super talented. In her online shop, you can pick any already existing dreadbeat design or order a custom-made design and create something unique specially for you. All what she does is specially made for every single customer. Doesn't matter, do you have a thin dreadlocks or thick dreadlocks, they will be done specially for you. All the links you can find in the description below the video.
How long it takes to wash your hair?
Days. The initial washing of it will take about a day. The hardest part is drying. It's really tiring, so I have to kind of walk around. It's so heavy when it's wet. I have to walk around like kind of hunched over. And I kind of try and get it all on top of my head and hold it in a towel for a while. And then a hairdryer, and then towel. And then it'll feel dry, you'll leave it for 10 minutes and it'll feel wet again. So I have to go back and squeeze it, like wring it out like this.
Well, I do that as well.
Yeah, that's so important. You can't have any water left in.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's no good.
That's another question. Have you weighted it when it's wet?
No, I'd like to.
Never been curious.
I'm really curious because it's uncomfortable on my neck.
Does it affect your health?
For the longest time, no. Just recently, like in the last week, my neck has been pretty sore.
Ooh.
I don't want to say it's because of my hair. I don't think so. Maybe I just slept awkwardly. I don't want to think it's my hair. I don't want to have to like shorten them or anything, but it happens to people.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It depends on how you style them normally, how you wear them, how you take the weight out of your neck. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if what I'm doing. So generally, like day to day, I'll have them wrapped up in like a beehive kind of thing. That feels comfortable, but I don't know if that adds more pressure to my neck because the whole weight is concentrated in one spot all of a sudden.
Do you have any hair wraps you normally do, like your favorite ones?
My favorite that I do is it's like a beehive kind of thing. This is all done with just the hair. I don't use anything else. I just use dreads.
Of course.
I'll take the top few like this and I'll get a couple from underneath and wrap them round and make a kind of like a strange ponytail and stick them in. That one can go in there, over there too. And I'll take that kind of base and get the others from here and I'll keep going round and round. This is how I wear my hair like at work or like generally like day to day. It keeps it out of the way and I just keep going. You can do a lot with it. Like you could just leave it there if you wanted and have this extra bit. I like to have some like come down the side like this, like kind of shorter. I try and keep like an amount of length, pull them through this edge bit and have them coming down this side here.
Do you feel any pressure on your scalp now?
No.
I struggle with finding hairstyle which will make me feel comfortable because I can feel the pressure and I don't like it. You feel like it pulls out your hair.
Yeah. If I have it up like this all day long, there will be maybe 2 times I'll have to let it all down and retie it because it's only tied up with itself, and it will, as I'm moving around, it will sink, and it will, like from here, it will start to pull backwards and things like that, and then you start to feel the weight. Like right now, as I've just done it, there's no pressure anywhere. It's balanced. If I'm playing shows or playing gigs, like I've started to have it up. If I'm running around the stage, I know it's gonna fall out.
If you smell your dreadlocks, how they smell like?
Let's find out. I know, you tell me.
It smells like you. It's your natural smell. It's not even a shampoo.
Yeah.
What do you do? How you apply shampoo?
The most important thing I think is your scalp.
Yeah.
Super important. So that gets the most amount of attention. If I'm doing all of them, I'll use like a carbonate soda, like bomb thing, and I'll soak them in that.
Carbonate soda.
Yeah, it's really great. Hair actually is really fucking strong. I've lifted up a little dog
With hair?
with these.
I still use the shampoo you suggested.
The purple,
Yes.
the purple bottle.
Yeah, that's brilliant
Yeah, it's
shampoo.
good
Thank
stuff.
you very much.
Yeah.
You said that sometimes they wake you up because you can't sleep on them.
I try and keep them tied back if I'm asleep, but if I move in the night and my arm is leaning on one, you can move, and then say if it's further up, you'll like maybe that's why my neck's
know that
messed
feeling.
up. Yeah, because
Maybe.
I've been jarring.
Maybe,
Yeah,
who
'cause I've been
knows?
jarring my head.
Did you had any thoughts about cutting them off?
Never.
Never.
No,
You
never.
absolutely in love with them.
Yeah, never. I get asked that a lot because I've had them for so long, like from being sort of like 15,
It's part of you.
16, yeah, right through to sort of almost being
Mm-hmm.
sort of 30 years old. That's your kind of prime years where you're figuring out who you are, really. I suppose it sounds crazy, but you know.
Well,
and I've
you
never-
say that to a person with dreadlocks. I understand.
Yeah, I was really shy when I was a kid, and it's kind of forced me to gain confidence, just because people are always looking at you, people always want to talk to you, and I don't think I'd be the same person now. So yeah, cutting them off it's to me it feels like I'd be cutting like a leg off or something like that, like an arm off. I don't know, I have nightmares about it. I've had yeah, where you wake up and for some reason in this nightmare I've cut my hair and I've woken up and shot up and oh no, I'm fine.
How did you come up to the idea to do dreadlocks?
I grew up going to loads of like punk shows, like ska shows.
I can tell.
I'd be there most weekends, and I had sort of long hair anyway. And the long hair that I had, I wanted to cut it off. I was done with it. And I'd always used to see people around at these shows with these like crazy long dreadlocks, and I always thought it was really cool. And I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to cut my hair off, I might as well do something that I've always wanted to do. And if I hate it, then it doesn't matter. I was going to cut my hair anyway. Mm-hmm. So I just tried it. I just did, and it became such a bigger thing.
13 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. How people react on the streets when they see you?
It's really varied. I think after so long, I've heard everything that anyone could say. Some people are mean. For a while that was difficult when I was younger, but now I kind of feel like that's a bit of sport. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, how quickly can I embarrass this asshole? Like, and a lot of people are really complimentary, and you know, oh wow, I wish I could do that. Maybe it's when I'm older now. If you see like a young kid with dreadlocks, people feel like they can get away with more, like being a bit crueler maybe if you're younger. But
I have a good news for you. It's a new fashion now. In Russia and in Europe now, dreadlocks are very popular.
really, I didn't know that.
You can braid in fake dreadlocks as well. I had them before I've decided to go for real ones.
Yeah.
You just braid them into your hair, and anytime you can take them out. And
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
walk
that's
with them
cool.
about 2 months. It's quite
So
safe.
you can tell.
Of course you can, but not all the time actually. It depends.
Well, I suppose anything improves. So.
My fake dreadlocks, they've been done from wool, so you could tell it's not hair. Even with wool dreadlocks, I had a lot of customers who said, "Oh, is that real?" Do you had any ideas to color it?
I've thought about the idea of having like a blonde one, maybe. One of the tips on one, it might have been that one actually, if you look at it. One of them I kind of stuck in some hair bleach once. It's like, oh yeah, but it wrecked it. Like it snapped the tip off after about
Exactly.
6 months. And I was like,
You know
"Ah,
why?
I don't need to do this.
You know why?
Bleach is
You said
horrendous.
anything what is on your dreadlocks will stay there forever.
Yes,
A
it's
bleach
true.
as well.
It's true. And
You never will wash it out. No. That's the thing. That's why I have extensions, so I can change my color and keep my natural dreadlocks. I'm a fan of the long hair as long as possible. Another question: will you grow your dreadlocks as long as possible until you die, or what are you planning to do?
That's an interesting question, and I don't know the answer.
When you will go to the point when, okay, it's too long, I need to cut some off.
I don't know. I don't know when that is. I think when I know, I'll know.
How do you keep them in shape?
It comes down to preference, really. What I'll do mostly, more often than not, all these extra like loose hairs that come through here, like depending on what I'm doing, I'll crochet those in. That is only temporary, and I don't like to do it too much. I'm kind of surprised it grew that long, to be honest.
There was a guy, Detzel, a color truck. He was the first one ever in Russia who did the dreadlocks. His dreadlocks were 15-year-old, I think, up to the floor.
Wow.
Natural. Unfortunately, he died a couple of months ago.
Oh, that's sad.
35-year-old.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he was still performing. That's another one important thing what you need to remember, and everyone needs to remember. You need to find time to rest. He had a heart attack at work.
Jesus, drink, drugs?
No, he was very responsible person. I didn't even realize how good he was when he was alive.
10:33 on the clock.
Sunglasses on, moving down the block.
Clouds in the skies for the good luck.
Circles on the fields make me wanna rock.
You know, only when you die people appreciate you.
yeah. Seems to be
So
the rule.
unfortunately that happened to him as well. His dreadlocks were sick. In your usual life, is this length disturbing you?
Like if I'm out and my hair's down and I'll go into the toilet and I'm walking up to the toilet, it's like an automatic reaction. All my hair goes back behind my shoulders and I'll stand, pop my shoulders out, like so no hair comes out. You don't want to piss on your hair. I mean, the worst, I've never done it.
My first dreadlocks were down to up here, and it was in my food all the time as well. Even if I tried to avoid it, it's too long in my drink. It's normal.
Yeah, in drinks, that still happens, but
You can soak your dreadlocks and get drunk. How you walk around with them in the winter?
if it's really, really cold, I'll have them down and I'll tuck them into my jacket or I'll wrap them around my neck like a scarf. They work great in the winter. Your hair changes the way, it's the weirdest thing, and I wish I knew the science behind it. I don't. Your hair, it changes the way it grows, and I think after you've had dreads for a long time and you cut them off, your hair does not grow the same way ever again. Things like these extra bits here, like this for anyone else would just flop down, but it kind of just stays up. I've seen it on friends and people that I've known that have had really long dreads, cut them off and their hair's grown back enough, and they're like, yeah, look at this, whatever way you put it, it just stays that direction. And it's the weirdest thing. I don't know why. I suppose your hair just gets used to, you know, my family before was just straight and
And your hair was straight.
thick, yeah. But now, if it grows out the sides, sometimes it proper curls now. It's really weird.
Looks like they changed
Really-
the structure.
Yeah, it's so strange.
Is your mum or dad curly?
Nope. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know the length of them.
You don't know the length.
No, I'm not aware of how long they are. When I'm playing shows, I have them down a lot of the time, and I'll swing them around and they'll get like tangled up in guitars and I won't notice. There was a gig we did a little while ago and he never said anything to me, but I think our bass player, like my dreads wrapped around his guitar a few times and he was just kind of untangling them, and then he never said though, he's so lovely. He was never like, get your hair away from me. This for me is the skinny one.
Skinny one.
Yeah, this is the skinny one.
Can I see the roots?
Yeah, sure.
I think this one was 2.
The only time that I faced problems was after a few years of having them. Every root across the back of my head here, from like ear to ear, in line with like maybe the tops of my ears, they were all joined together.
How did you separate them?
I was chatting to my friend who used to have dreads. He was looking at them and he was like, you gotta separate these off. It's gonna really be heavy and it's gonna hurt your scalp. We've got to sort it out. And we were out drinking
He said, I can do it for you, but it's gonna hurt. If you're gonna separate dreads like that,
You need to rip the
you
hair
can't,
off.
yeah, you can't snip them. You have to tear it so it tears down the line where it joined. He got a razor blade from somewhere, and he gave me a beer, and he said, drink this as fast as you can. And I was like, okay, drank the beer as fast as I could. He goes, this is gonna really hurt, and he just goes, there you go, and it really hurt. That was it, that was fine. And I gained about an inch in length, like straight away. Let them join so they're going to be one dread. Don't let a dread join to a dread, join to a dread, join to a dread. Let it be in a section, like it's still in a section, like you meant it to be that way and it's one section.
The most important part in dreadlocks is to section them in the right way.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't know if I did that right.
How did your life change when you had dreadlocks?
It got a lot meaner.
I was a young kid, and like in Dartford in here, like there was one summer I was about 17 years old, and I got
Come on, I'm here for like 4 hours and I had already 2 drunk people coming around and arguing with no reason.
Excuse me, you take me off of that. Stop.
I got attacked in the park
Really?
one summer. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I was sitting there and the guy came over and he asked me for a cigarette. I said no and he went away. And about 5 minutes later I looked up and I was sat on the grass and he was running towards me and he grabbed me by my dreads and just dragged me along the floor and it cut my head. I was bleeding from my head and then he just dropped me on the floor. I was laying on the floor like feeling my head because as he was pulling me along I could hear like hair ripping and I kind of grabbed onto his forearm as I was like being pulled along. I grabbed onto his forearm and like pulled myself upwards.
I should kick him in the balls.
Yeah, I think that's why I didn't lose any hair out my head because I just then he just dropped me and just walked off. That's the only time anyone's ever like tried to hurt me.
Thank you for staying with us. That was me, 7 months.
And I've been Jack.
If you think about getting your own real dreadlocks, don't be scared because it's really cool.
It's all confidence.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
And if you want some really good advice about a salon and how to do it all yourself, there's a lot of stuff in the video that we haven't talked about that I could give you advice on, so give me a message and I'll help you. Make sure to like and subscribe. I heard that in Russia you guys are kind of into ska punk, so if you're kind of sad, if you've just broken up with someone and you need to feel better about it, go and listen to Tail Block.
It doesn't have to be this way. I just need you to know.
If you want to get happy and drunk and party, go and listen to Just Say Nay.
Pass me a cloud so I can float away. Make this on my own, then tried and true, you had no say.
Спасибо,
Спасибо.
что
Что?
досмотрели.
Say that again.
Досмотрели
One more time. Dosмотрели.
до
Этого момента ставь лайк.
подписывайся,
Подписывайся.
комментируй.
Commentary. Commentary. Это был Jack. Thanks for watching in English.
Hey! Thank you, Jack.
Thank you very much. I had a lot of fun.